You see these old men, Kalonzo, Matiang'i,
they will
even Rigiji, they know the recklessness of youth. It is you who is mesmerized by thinking Sifuna can be made a presidential candidate with another young man, Methu. So you think we don't see the arrogance in Methu?
Hii beef ya Uhuru na Ruto ilianza aje?
Let me help you confirm that he has a beef.
Very warm welcome to Redring TV. This is Political Fury with Duncan Jamal. Ladies and gentlemen, if it's your first time joining us, please consider subscribing. I really appreciate. We thank you because we are going all the way to 100,000 subscribers. Before tuende far, in the house we have Mheshimiwa Owidi Odoyo. Mheshimiwa, chatuni kusalimia. Nimesalimia pesa. Hiyo inakonga pesa. So Mwesh, before niambia watu why we are here, unaendelea aje?
I'm good, I can't complain.
You can't complain. Last week tumekuwa na wewe hapa, watu wanatuma comments, thousands of comments. It's really wanakupenda. Before tuende kwa the topic, nataka usalimie watu kwanza, especially watu
who are your audience that I need to greet? Who are these?
Kenyans.
Oh, Kenyans. Kenyans, I always like to remind them again and again that Kenya belongs to all of us, and we must share all its resources equally, including the leadership positions. That is my message to them.
Okay.
Anytime.
Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, I know you also the former president, Mheshimiwa Uhuru Kenyatta, speak over the weekend and probably for the most part of last week. Now, he said he does not have a beef with the president, but we all know there is a beef. So, Mheshimiwa, hii beef yao inaanza wapi? Hii beef ya Uhuru na Ruto ilianza aje?
Let me help you confirm that he has a beef. If he had said he has a problem with President William Ruto, but it is 1, 2, 3, that was understandable. But when you come out and say you want to organize a united opposition to remove President William Ruto, then a few days later when you are asked if you have a beef with him, you say you don't have. That is called the height of dishonesty. But let me also tell you that Uhuru Kenyatta has never liked President William Ruto. Not even the days when President William Ruto was his DP running mate. He wasn't. All he wanted was to get elected. People may forget that in 2013, or actually slightly before, Uhuru Kenyatta had decided that they were going to back Musalia Mudavadi as the presidential candidate to go against then Raila Odinga. What that tells you is that Uhuru Kenyatta did not like Raila Odinga and he did not like William Ruto, but he disliked Raila Odinga more. So he opted to sponsor a candidate in the name of Musalia Mudavadi to go and run against Raila Odinga with the Mount Kenya support. And fortunately, the Mount Kenya oligarchs did not accept that. They remembered the 1969 oath that they would never support anybody other than a Kikuyu. And leadership would never get out of the house of Mumbi. And when they read for him the Riot Act, he came back to publicly declare that ilikuwa mademoni ilimdanganya achague Mudavadi as a running mate. When he left out the idea of making Musalia Mudavadi the presidential candidate, he looked for somebody who could help him win the presidency. And at that point in time, he had only one choice, William Ruto. Because in this country, the major coalitions you form and hope to win an election is the Kikuyu, the Luo, the Kalenjin, and the Luya. He had just betrayed Musalia Mudavadi. The Luya. So he had only one choice left because Raila Odinga was his own candidate. And that was William Ruto. So he lured William Ruto into his camp and they went together and won. But take note that as soon as they won his second term, he walked out on President William Ruto. And that is something we would come back to. But let's go back to Uhuru's second term. Immediately Uhuru Kenyatta won his second term, he owed President William Ruto nothing. He had discovered there is nothing he wants from him. Without provocation, without any form of annoyance, he decided to go for Raila Odinga and discard President William Ruto, then his deputy. One day we just saw him on TV saying William Ruto anatanga-tanga. And we did not see where William Ruto offended him. We did not see where he warned William Ruto not to tanga-tanga. We did not see. Because it means he had made up his mind that William Ruto must be dropped. So do not think Uhuru Kenyatta started disliking William Ruto when William Ruto became the president. He did not like him even when he was his running mate and even when he was his DP. So why did Uhuru Kenyatta decide to abandon William Ruto and go for Raila Odinga? People have been thinking that he discovered William Ruto was bad and Raila Odinga was good. No, far from the truth. Uhuru Kenyatta did not want to leave power. He wanted a way of retaining power through another means, which is premiership. So Uhuru Kenyatta wanted to influence the creation of an office of an executive prime minister elected by parliament. That was the avenue he wanted to use and return as head of government. So he knew the only person who would accept that they team up and change the constitution so that there's the office of an executive prime minister who forms government, who appoints cabinet, only Raila Odinga could accept. Because at that time, unknown to many people, Raila Odinga was already too weak. He did not have enough resources to run for the presidency on his own because his perennial running mate, Kalonzo Musyoka, was also unable to help him financially and was also as aging as him. So Uhuru purported to be helping Raila Odinga to defeat Ruto. I am not clearly aware what he told Raila Odinga about Ruto and what he told him he will do for him. But we knew Raila Odinga embraced him on day one. They met in March, actually on March 9th, 2018, at the footstep of that Harambee House. Actually, that is when they came to tell us what they have been discussing. That was exactly 6 months after him being sworn in, actually less, because he was sworn in later. He was sworn in later after the Supreme Court and after the rerun. So Uhuru Kenyatta went for Raila Odinga. Then they came up with the so-called BBI. This BBI was supposed to put the last nail in Ruto's coffin. But Ruto is a fighter. And fast forward, on 26th October 2020, we gathered in Bomas of Kenya for the launch of the BBI report. It is a report that was launched that we are going to amend the constitution to create 70 new seats for parliament because the prime minister would be elected by parliament. And if you looked at the skew in those new seats, the recommendations that were majority of them were going to be in the strongholds of Uhuru Kenyatta, and only just about 3 were going to be the strongholds of Raila Odinga. And when we talk about the strongholds of Raila Odinga, I mean the lowland. He had some strongholds in coast and western, but they got few. And at least those people, you can manipulate them with resources until they sing your tune. In any case, if you have campaigned with Raila Odinga that you are his friend, when it comes to the time you want to become a prime minister, people expect him to support you.
True.
So we went to Bomas. People had expected that President William Ruto would not come.
Yeah.
Because the whole thing was skewed in favor of Raila Odinga as the candidate. The delegates who were there were largely from Raila Odinga's support base. Uhuru Kenyatta had publicly embraced Raila Odinga, and even when we got to Bomas, they had a brief meeting inside closed doors with Raila Odinga, but not William Ruto, his DP. But There is something about William Ruto that we last saw in a man called Koitalel Arap Samoei, a man who would fight to the last minute. And even now, despite the onslaught by the house of Mumbi on William Ruto, he has kept on the fight. He has retained the stamina and is going all the way. When we were in Bomas, people thought that President William Ruto was now humiliated enough that he would not continue fighting. He fought to the very bitter end and emerged victorious. He won the elections. So when he went to the High Court and the High Court stopped the BBI thing, Uhuru Kenyatta again, through his government, appealed to the Court of Appeal. The Court of Appeal held what the High Court ruled, that BBI was, let me just say, a fake process. They went all the way to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court again upheld the rulings of the two lower courts. And that is when Uhuru gave up that it is not possible to amend the constitution to create the office of an executive prime minister and the other positions that they wanted to create. But Uhuru did not just give up on BBI only. Uhuru also gave up on supporting Raila Odinga for the presidency. And that incidentally also played into the hands of William Ruto, because William Ruto now could win at least much more easily than he would have won if Uhuru Kenyatta took Raila Odinga to the mountain, left, right, and center. After the BBI failed, there is no single day that Uhuru Kenyatta accompanied Raila Odinga to campaign in Central Province or in Kikuyu land in general. In fact, we only saw them together at Kasarani during their Corino meeting. We only saw them in Eastlands and generally Nairobi and KICC twice. So he had given up on helping Raila Odinga to get the Kikuyu vote because he didn't like Raila Odinga either. But he concentrated on plotting and planning to remove President William Ruto from power. He had remembered why the Mount Kenya oligarchs stopped him from supporting Mudavadi. It was due to the 1969 oath. And when he remembered it, he decided that he has to amend. He had to lead the onslaught to remove President William Ruto. And that explains why after President William Ruto was sworn in, Uhuru Kenyatta's Azimio went to the streets, led by his appointee Raila Odinga. Even though Raila Odinga is the one who went to the streets, you will remember in the beginning, the protest was about the cost of living. After about 2 protests, they introduced a third grievance called Open the Server. Because he discovered people were not believing that this was a Raila Odinga protest. So he wanted Raila Odinga to own the protest. And he decided that they now introduced Open the Server. Introducing Open the Server also helped them mobilize the Luo onto the street, because the Luo were still feeling that President William Ruto may have stolen Raila Odinga's victory. So how do you get them onto the streets? Tell them, hata nyinyi tunawapigania. Sava lazima ifunguliwe tuone results. As if sava ni nyungu ingine fulani hapo ukifungua unapata kura hapo ndani. Hakuna. Hakuna. Raila Odinga, led by his running mate, Martha Karua, senior counsel, why would they go to the street to talk about Open the Server, as if somewhere in the constitution of Kenya, it says that if server gives you a different results from what the High Court had reinforced, you would go back, become president. They knew that is not possible. And they also knew from science that there's nothing in the servers. That server is only a transmitter of results from polling centers through constituency tallying centers to Bomas. There's nothing in it. If you wanted results, you go to the ballot boxes. They should have gone to the streets to demand recounting of the results. But they instead went for something that would not change things. The only thing that would change anything is if you went for a recount and the recount showed that it is Raila Odinga who won. But they knew the recount would not show that. In any case, in the counting of votes in this country, even at the polling station, the presidential votes are counted, tabulated on Form 34A, and after that is done, one form is pinned on the door, so that anybody who voted can copy it, can take a photo of it, can have a copy of it. And 4 were given to the 4 presidential candidates. Then 1 was transmitted through that so-called server to the headquarters at Bomas. What that meant that if there would be any dispute, then citizens can show the one that was at the door. If there is any dispute, the candidates can produce theirs that were given to their agents and say, hii kitu iko hapa Bomas ni tofauti. After that, people would go to Bomas to verify. So it was expected that presidential candidates would go to Bomas to verify the results. Something that Azimio, led by Uhuru Kenyatta, did not do for Raila Odinga. They did not even set for him up a tallying center. So we are on the streets now.
Yes.
It is 2023. It is March. 2023. William Ruto has just appointed his government. Some of them had not yet sworn in. And then William Ruto has not read his first budget. But the Uhuru-sponsored Azimio are on the street demanding a reduction in cost of living. Don't you see how unfair? But also very important for Kenyans to know. Who are these on the streets? Martha Karua, Jeremiah Kioni, Maina Kamanda, Ndegwa Njeru, Rigiji's own lawyer. They are on the streets with Raila Odinga. Of course, with Raila Odinga's people like Kalonzo and as those people. ODM MPs were there because Raila was there. But many of them, if you spoke to them, they did not understand why they were in the street when President William Ruto was only 3 months in office. They did not understand. They also did not understand why they were in the streets even before Ruto read his budget to show us how he intends to deal with the cost of living. So this was a conspiracy to validate the 1969 oath that the House of Mumbi would never support a person who is not one of their own to be the president of Kenya. And they would not allow. Why do I say so? This is another evidence that I have. As soon as Raila Odinga realized that he was in a game of futility, he was in a journey to nowhere, he called off the street protest and agreed on William Ruto to have a NADCO report, to have the NADCO thing. And so they formed committees. And then those committees, one side was Wandai and the other side was Kalonzo. So they were on the street. They were negotiating. But then, when NADCO was formed, the House of Mumbi decided to walk out of Azimio. Karua walked out, Kamanda walked out, Kioni walked out, and even Ndegwa and such people. And where did they go? It is important for Kenyans to know where they went.
Where?
They went to organize the Limuru 3 conference. The Limuru 3 conference birthed the Gen Z protests. Listen to the Limuru 3 conference where people spoke for over 4 hours and the subject was Ruto must go. And there was a lady there who spoke passionately, said Ruto must go, not in 2027, he must go now. The lady went ahead to ask the Kikuyu mothers and fathers to give their children transport to come to Nairobi, to come and protest to send William Ruto home. This is a person who was elected hardly a year ago by the majority of Kenyans. The Kikuyu masses included. But here some Kikuyu leaders have ganged up to lie to the Kikuyu fraternity that Ruto is a bad man. But going by the theory that everybody wants to listen to their own blood, mothers want to listen to their own children, people want to listen to their own brothers, and children want to listen to their own fathers. The Kikuyu masses listened to their leaders, telling them that Ruto is a bad man who must go home before 2027. And he had just read his first budget of 2023, June. And you did not know. Right there, Jeremiah Kioni declared that Uhuru is their patron. And he repeated it outside. And when he was challenged that, have you spoken to him? He said they are going to speak to him to be the patron. Rigathi Gachagua was represented there by Ndegwa.
Oh.
So Martha Karua and Jeremiah Kioni were the conveners. But there's something people never took notice of. That Martha Karua was from Raila's side of Azimio. He was his running mate. And Kioni was from the Uhuru side of Azimio. They ganged up there. And do not think that these sons of Mumbi are fighting. They are not.
They never.
Wanatupumbaza. But they are working together to ensure the 1969 oath is obeyed to the letter.
Wait.
I'm waiting.
Before you go far, you said that they are never fighting. I was alive when, not even alive, I was this elderly when some sheep and goats were taken from Northlands, and they claimed that Gachagua was the one who conveyed that also, who did that. Were they not fighting?
They can do a domestic fight, but nationally they can't fight. That was a domestic because just like when you are going to school at Lenana High School and your brother is at Alliance High School, when there's a football match between the two schools, you are brother with your enemy. But as soon as the ball ends, that is it. Now, Rigiji was playing for UDA and Uhuru Kenyatta was playing for Azimio. At that point in time, they are opponents, but it ends after the match.
Okay.
As soon as the elections were over, Uhuru Kenyatta and Rigiji closed ranks. And you may have not noticed. Rigiji and Martha Karua had a meeting. Don't you remember? And who proposed Martha Karua to be Raila Odinga's running mate? Uhuru Kenyatta. So that was a closing of ranks in the house of Mumbi. One side by Uhuru Kenyatta and the other side was Rigathi Gachagua. So even today, they are keeping us believing that they have an issue. Even if they had issues and personal differences, because within their land, they must also compete for seats. Within their land, they must also have somebody who is the leader. But against external communities, they are united. They are united. It is only in our region where some people are hired to support them to come and destroy our unity. But with them, they are united and they are busy. So after the Limuru 3 conference, where they urged Kikuyu parents to give their children money to go and be on the streets to remove William Ruto, they also told them that he must be removed now. We don't wait for 2027. And you also remember their other son who did not attend but was represented. You remember this Limuru 3 conference?
Yes.
Was in May. I think it was May 17th, 2024. A month later, the Gen Z protest happened.
Yes.
And where was Rigathi Gachagua? In Mombasa, waiting for the Gen Z protest to succeed so that he can be declared the president. And there is something also you must know. In the countdown to the Gen Z protest of 2024, remember, there was the chief of staff of one Rigathi Gachagua called George McGoy, a Luo from Siaya. Rigathi Gachagua dismissed him. Because when you are plotting something as dangerous as an overthrow of a president, you must not have any information leakage. So having a chief of staff who does not subscribe to your ideals, who does not subscribe to your crazy things, he has to go. After George McGoey went, remember there was also the chief of defense forces called General Ogola. General Ogola died in a mysterious helicopter accident. And it was common knowledge that if General Ogola were to die or leave office or to resign, he would be replaced by a man from Mathira. Whenever there is a popular revolt against any regime, that popular revolt only succeeds the day the military sides with them. With Ogola as the head of the military, it was almost impossible for the military to side with the protesters. I am not saying the new military chief would have sided with them. I am saying they expect him to side with them more easily than Ogola would.
Yeah.
One of the other reasons why Ogola had to die, Ogola had made peace with William Ruto.
I remember. And
once Ogola had made peace with William Ruto, it is now going to be impossible for you, a mortal man, to convince him that the army should now join the protesters and be on the side of the protesters. You know, when you want to do a political analysis, you must look at the sequence of events. Who are involved, when and where, and what is at stake. So, in the first Gen Z protests, people had not known what is happening because it was largely promoted on social media.
True.
That is closed groups. They were not public rallies where they were urged. Immediately after the Rimuru conference, which they spoke largely in Kikuyu language, the other public functions they would have had to speak in Kiswahili and English. So they shifted onto closed groups in social media. I once attended a public rally on X Spaces, which had 200,000 participants. And the speakers were Kivuta Kibwana, Miguna, Martha Karua, Willy Mutunga, and such people. And they were bitter and passionate that Ruto must go. Ruto had done atrocities against the people of Kenya. I believe today that they were induced to do so. Somebody had made them comfortable to do so. Somebody had induced them to do so. Because majority of the things they were accusing President William Ruto of were done by Uhuru Kenyatta during his time, were done by Mwai Kibaki during his time. And these people were adults. None of those people I have counted to you. There was also Paul Mwite, were non-adults. And they never complained during Kibaki, they never complained during Uhuru Kenyatta. But Ruto, before even 1 year in office, they are already complaining. Isn't that a case of 1969 oathing? But that is not all. That is not all. They complained that William Ruto has performed killings of Kenyans. They know there is no killings in Kenya during or after the protest that you can directly find evidence that the government or Ruto ordered. None. They were done by individual policemen the way they did them during Uhuru Kenyatta, the way they did them during Kibaki. I also heard later they were talking about shoot to kill order. There was Kibaki regime. Kibaki, unlike the other presidents, used to use his ministers to make statements on his behalf. That I give it to him. So one John Njoroge Michuki 3 times ordered shoot to kill, gave shoot to kill orders. One for the Masais fighting the Kikuyu in Laikia. The other one was the Sabaot Land Defense Forces in Mount Elgon. And the third one, I am forgetting the third one.
The Mungiki one.
The Mungiki one. Yes. The third one was the Mungiki. And 500 Mungiki adherents died. And there was a group of gentlemen who used to run a foundation called the Oscar Foundation, led by Oscar, Kamau, and then there was also Paul Oulu. And the third one was Pascal Juma. That day they were going to Kenya Human Commission of Human Rights to report and give evidence on the extrajudicial killings on Mungiki. When they reached the university roundabout there, Oulu and Oscar were shot dead in cold blood in traffic jam because they were not supposed to reach the offices of human rights. Look at the risk they took. Traffic jam in the evening in town. They blocked them and shot those two. The third one, Pascal Juma, was not in the car. So when Gwyn got to him, he took exile in Uganda. And that is how he saved himself from these murderous people. That is how much the Kibaki regime defended extrajudicial killings. And so when I hear the house of Mumbi coming to tell us that it is Ruto who is performing extrajudicial killings, then I know it is biased. And when I tell them that these things happened in a worse way during Kibaki and Uhuru, they think I am saying they should now be condoned. No, I am saying this is double standards. I am saying this is a conspiracy. I am saying this is enforcing the 1969 oath. That is what I am saying. I am saying Kenyans should be treated equally, both in resources and leadership. That is what I am saying. I am not saying extrajudicial killings is wrong. I am saying the accusation against President William Ruto are generalities. None can have facts.
Okay.
Even these people who died during post-election violence, they were shot by the police. Some were shot by fake people who infiltrated the police. But you cannot bring evidence of government policy asking the protesters to be shot. You cannot bring evidence of William Ruto advising anybody to shoot anyone. And these are the same policemen who were used by Uhuru. President William Ruto only recruited the first set of policemen who passed out 3 days ago.
So animal police guys.
Yes, they are the same policemen they are the ones who killed the Kianjokoma brothers in cold blood after they had been arrested and handcuffed. And this noise we are seeing today was not there. The media houses in this country have not changed. They are still the same one, but they kept quiet when the Kianjokoma brothers was slaughtered in cold blood after being arrested, sons of one woman, and they are telling us Rex Masai is too painful to let Ruto remain in office.
Okay.
Yet there's no connection between President William Ruto and the death of Rex Masai. But there is connection between Rex Masai being in the streets and the burning of Uganda House and burning of other businesses in town that made 6 people die of fire. So we must tell Kenyans to evaluate. In this world, there is something called propaganda. And this is what they did to Ruto. They sent the youth onto the streets, and they specifically chose the youth. When I tell people that these things were chosen, they tell me it was organic. How could it be organic? And the organizers who were addressing people in the Limuru 3 conference specifically told parents to give money to their children to come to town to protest. Why did they say, give money to your people? They specifically said your sons and daughters to come and protest. They were the organizers of Gen Z protests. They were the choice of the demographic group to come and protest. And what was the reason? The reason was, number one, the Gen Zs have no benefit of history to know what the other presidents have done. Because if they knew, they would not be outraged by the moderate Ruto actions. They also knew the youth are not only reckless, but they are also perfectionists. They want perfection. Even your own son will tell you, Daddy, you promised me this, you must give it to me. The fact that there is no money notwithstanding. The third reason why they took the youth to the street, because the death of a youthful person is more painful than the death of an old man like me. That is why they took the youth. And they knew once the youth have died in the streets, and they know there is something in propaganda. A lie repeated loudly many times is believed more than the truth said once in a whisper. So they knew, because they have captured the media, largely because the media is owned by members of their community, and others are also better with Ruto for succession powers, and others could easily be lured with money. They have the media. What would the media do? Repeat the lie multiple times, loudly as possible. Once the people have believed those lies, they now use those lies in the future to justify other lies. They tell you Ruto is a killer. He killed Rax Masai. Now he must have killed this one. When did they see Ruto on the streets with a gun? When did they hear him ordering policemen to shoot anyone? The only thing President William Ruto can do is, as a president, demand and order that investigations be done into those things. And that explains why, if you go on to records, official records, you will find documented extrajudicial killings during Ruto's 4 years is slightly over 300. Extrajudicial killings during Uhuru Kenyatta, is 4,000. So that means even if Ruto went for a second term at the same rate, we would not even reach 1,000 extrajudicial killings. We would not reach. But the noise the media is making today, you would think it is Ruto who is 4,000, Uhuru is 3,000. And when you look at the same record, during Mwai Kibaki, 10,000 people, actually 9, were killed extrajudicially. And during Moi, 24 years, 11,000. Because they are working with a populace who cannot evaluate statistics, who cannot analyze statistics. But when I tell them that, they tell me, so you want to justify that it is right to kill? No. What I want to do is tell you that Ruto has largely prevented extrajudicial killings. Something that Uhuru let go free. Something that Kibaki didn't mind. Something that happened during Moi.
Okay.
You get what I mean? So it is not when I refer back to Uhuru and Kibaki, I am justifying whatever could be happening now. No, I am telling them this is conspiracy. I am telling them this is double standard. I'm telling them these are lies. I am telling them this is enforcement of the 1969 oathing by the House of Mumbi.
Okay.
So the media repeat things and they promote narratives. So the first narrative they decided to promote is abduction narrative. And in theories of propaganda, what you first do, get something that is close to true. Or if it is a lie, paint it with some truth. And rub it in until people believe it is true. Then go forward to be using it as an example of how this man is bad, using it to justify. So they decided to take a person who was actually arrested by police and taken to a police station. They move in and helped him be removed. And that was one man called Gaitho. Then they rapped that Gaitho was abducted, not arrested. They rapped that he was abducted. There was a time also Alfred Keter was arrested. They rapped that he was abducted, not arrested. You get it?
Yes.
As if people are never arrested on the roads. We have arrested thieves on the roads. We have arrested criminals on the roads. We have chased criminals and arrested them. So once that has been rubbed in by the partisan media until Kenyans believe there is an actually abduction by the government, so they decided that every individual that have been arrested during protests is declared abducted. Then the opposition came in with their propaganda wing. What do? They now abduct young men, make noise. When there is enough noise and outrage, they then release them, purporting that the government has released them. Propaganda is something the opposition would go to detail to do. I am not saying governments don't do propaganda, but here Kenya, opposition here Kenya, has resources and sponsorship for great propaganda. In the Nazi Germany, they even went ahead to kill small children, babies, and blame it on the Jews. And after it was now believed that Jews kill children, they would just create coffins, many coffins, and say the Jews have killed these people. Until the public opinion against the Jew was too much that even if they are being slaughtered, nobody cares. Today I want to tell you that if we do not fight back and rewind this negative narrative promoted by the media on behalf of the opposition, it will be very difficult, even if President William Ruto finally wins, to convince Kenyans that he has won. Because we have a media that can say he won but he stole. Because we don't have a media willing to say the truth about the government, because they have all been compromised. Unfortunately, even KBC is not being neutral. Unfortunately.
In which instance?
I've sat there. There was a day I was almost thrown out of that station because I mentioned things in the name of Rigathi Gachagua and Uhuru Kenyatta. Yet all along we had been discussing President William Ruto as sitting president. There's a time I was in K24 and I was told I cannot mention Rigathi Gachagua because he wasn't there to defend himself. Yet throughout the show we had been discussing the person of President William Ruto. That is how the media works. When you are with the Kenyan media today, majority of them, I think there is one that is largely not so bad. And you are talking in defense of the government. They will not even let you complete a sentence. And if it is a show of 2 or more people, when your opponents interject, even if it is rudely or badly, they will just let them do so. Last evening, I was watching Ndegwa Njiru, interrupting every moment that Javas Bigambo spoke. Until I was wondering, did these people come here to speak and live for each other, or only the anti-government are supposed to speak? So the media has also failed Kenyans because they must give Kenyans the true picture of what is happening.
Okay.
But still on the media, the media has multiple times kept on rubbing something to us, that we have seen the police walk side by side with goons. I want Kenyans to listen to this very carefully. This was time during a protest. A video turned up which actually showed police vehicle moving and alongside moving Kenyans carrying rungus. True. You saw it.
I was even there.
That photo, it looks like this.
Yes.
Because of the protesters having looted businesses, the Nairobi business community decided to hire people to protect their businesses with those rungus. So they were going to do it in a group because you cannot hire 100 people. So each of the shop owners hired 2 or 3, on the understanding that if one shop is attacked, they all walk there.
Yes.
If the protesters are coming from north, they all move towards north so that they defend. So as they were moving towards the direction of the protesters, police were also moving in that direction. So the media, the Kenyan media, especially the reckless royal media, showed us that these people are working together with the police. So the police is protecting them. The police came to protect Kenyan businesses from looters, from thieves. They did not come to beat protesters. So the business community also hired people not to beat protesters, but to protect their businesses. So people who are protecting the businesses in town and the policemen who are protecting the business in town are walking in the same direction. And then you take a short video of a minute and keep on reminding the world, look, the police are walking here with goons. There can be no greater goons in this country than the one that came to this country in 2009 during Mwai Kibaki. Kibaki hired and imported 2 goons called Atur Margarian and Atur Sargassian, Armenians, foreigners brought to Kenya, given Kenyan passport, given Kenyan IDs, given Kenyan police ranks, given Kenyan guns, and let loose to terrorize anybody who opposed the government at that time. Their first victim was the Standard Group. They did not only go to pull wires from TV broadcasting, but they also went to the printing press in Likoni and vandalized everything. And the media is still the same. It is still KTN, it is still Citizen, it is still NEN TV, it is still the same media. They never made protests that time the way they are doing now. They are doing now, and President William Ruto has not shut down the media the way Uhuru Kenyatta did. Uhuru Kenyatta shut down the media without even giving them an opportunity to go to court. And the media remained shut for a long period until one Luo called Akechieng shouted, Uhuru ametufungia TV. So, these ones I am saying not because I want Ruto to do those things because Uhuru did them, because Kibaki did them. I want Kenyans to see the double standards. I want Kenyans to see the conspiracy.
Yes.
I want Kenyans to see the enforcement of the 1969 oath.
Okay. Now, let me take you to this weekend now. Uhuru said, ataki kuitwa sponsor. Do you still say he is the sponsor of Linda Mwananchi?
I don't go by the word of any politician. I go with evidence that had been seen. I explained to you earlier that when people were in Limuru 3 conference, after the Limuru 3, Jeremiah Kioni told us that Uhuru is their patron.
True.
And they asked that, have you spoken to him? He said they will speak to him.
Okay.
So Uhuru is the sponsor of these people. When you see Pauline Njoroge,
Yes.
you see Uhuru. Uhuru told us the other week that he is mobilizing a united opposition to remove Ruto. Okay. Uhuru is the leader of Jubilee who appointed Matiang'i to take over, who released Tuju from the Secretary General. He's the one who reorganized Jubilee. He was the leader of Azimio who has brought back Azimio. So Uhuru is the sponsor of the united opposition. What he has done, he has separated into 3 pieces. So there is one called Azimio, which has Jubilee, and that was meant to bring in Matiang'i and Kalonzo. He has one which has Sifuna, which is called Linda Mwananchi, Orengo, and such people. And they are properly financed. Let me tell you, those people are incapable of funding even one political rally. There was a time I was in that Azimio thing, and I realized to hold one rally, we needed almost 50 million. There is transport, there is accommodation, there is PA system, there is security, there is mobilization. All those things put together is a big, big lot of money. There are even allowances. Don't think those politicians just go. Many of them are facilitated to go because their presence is a demo. But what is very interesting, Jamal?
Yes.
You saw the kind of crowds that Professor Kindiki is pulling today in Mount Kenya East. But you don't see the media hyping them. But when Sifuna has a crowd, we can't sleep. We are even woken up in the night, come and watch Sifuna's crowd. Let me tell you, what we are watching today and being told, if Ruto gets 30%, that is their song. They sang it here for Mtata one time. They sang it here for Peter Kenneth one time. They can keep singing it. They even sang it for Raila Odinga. Kenyans know who has built for them Rironi Mau Summit Road. Kenyans know who has built for them the Talanta Stadium. Kenyans know who has brought Shah. Kenyans know who is building markets throughout the country, airports throughout the country. State lodges are being renovated. Kenyans know.
Okay.
Kenyans are asking, where did Uhuru Kenyatta used to take our money? They are asking. These people talking are people hired, people facilitated using online algorithms to be present everywhere.
Okay.
So, as I tell you today, Ruto's one singular opponent is one Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. If Uhuru dropped these people, nobody will be out there even opposing President William Ruto, because they'll come back to their senses. The only thing that makes you lose your senses and disobey lawful authority is money. Money that keeps you going and you don't know where it is coming from. So if he cuts that money of his, these things won't go on. They will come back to their senses.
Now, Mwalimu,
yes.
Today, DCP leader Gachagua held a press conference and he said he has seen out of the all united opposition leaders, he's the only one whom Kenyans have decided to give that hiyo mandate ya kuvai as the president, ndio watoe the current president in one go. Do you think Gachagua is still dreaming ama he is right, he is going to vie?
Gachagua is going to vie if the courts allow him to vie. If the courts allow Gachagua to vie at any cost, he is going to vie, even if the united opposition says, no, we are giving it to somebody else. He is not going to listen to anyone, not to Uhuru, not the united opposition, not anybody. And this is his trick, if you didn't know. Gachagua believes that if an opposition candidate runs separate from him, and he also runs with his DCP, and President William Ruto runs, number 1 and 2 is going to be number 1 Ruto, number 2 Rigathi Gachagua. And in his head, he believes that the members of the opposition are going to join him during the runoff. Because he believes we are going to that place at such a time that people will have insulted President William Ruto. William Ruto had become enemies of these people to an extent that they can't support him going forward. That is also the mistake Uhuru Kenyatta made with the Gen Z protests. But if that be the case, in the rerun, the members of the opposition are going to go with William Ruto. For 2 reasons.
Why?
Reason number 1, Rigathi Gachagua will have disobeyed them and their unity. Will have betrayed their unity. Reason number 2, they would rather Ruto, who is going for 5 years and leaving for them to try again, than Rigathi Gachagua, who would want to go for 2 terms. And they also know how reckless, how rude, how dictatorial Rigathi Gachagua can be. Do not think these leaders don't know Ruto is a good man. And these opposition leaders are bad people. They know, but they also want the presidency. Everybody wants it. So that is Rigathi Gachagua's plan. So expect him on the ballot, irrespective of the method the united opposition was going to use, if any, to get their candidate.
Now, I was in Matatu yesterday, and somewhere in Murima, and I heard them speak. And I hear that they have plans just in case Gachagua fails to be in the ballot. They are fronting Methu to be the deputy, to deputize Sifuna, so that Sifuna goes for 1 term. That is if he wins. And then Methu will take over. They were talking about turning that. Do you think this can come to light?
What I know for now, the House of Mumbi wants to enforce the 1969 thing. They want to enforce it. And if they would be unable, but they want to remove President William Ruto. Because outside the House of Mumbi, he's only the strong candidate that can stand against the House of Mumbi. After Raila Odinga is dead. Because this thing requires resources. It requires a large following. It requires a well-known person. It requires a person with a proper background and the fighting willpower. Just imagine if it is not President William Ruto, these people are fighting this viciously. They would have won the war a long time ago.
True.
Yes. So they know only Ruto can stand in their way with their resources and with their numbers and with their media. It's only Ruto. So Kenyans are still sleeping. They are not seeing somebody coming to capture them in a way that they will not free themselves, but they are sleeping. They are busy sleeping. They are not foreseeing this. Because human beings are very interesting. Mothers and fathers out here are very quick at noticing the character of their prospective sons and daughters-in-law. But to notice the characters of politics, they are unable to do. Today, they are talking Ruto must go because they think Akona some things is done wrongly. They want to bring in some people. These people, if you evaluate them, you find they are worse. Because you are not going to evaluate a sitting president against a non-sitting president. Evaluate Ruto before he became president and evaluate Rigathi Gachagua before he became president. Evaluate Ruto when he was the age of Sifuna and evaluate Sifuna at that age. That is when you are getting clear comparison. But a person already playing in the field, you can't evaluate with a player on the bench. A player on the bench will even run along the field and click that he should have scored that. He would have passed that ball. Because you see more detail when you are outside than when you are inside. Have you run in the football field and you see how it looks big?
It's big.
It looks big. But when you are sitting out in the field, it looks small. So a person already in the arena cannot compete with the person outside the arena. But this our people have failed to see. And let me tell you, these platforms now that the anti-Ruto brigade have been presented with to use to fight him viciously will not be available after the next general election. These media houses that every day call anti-Ruto commentators to talk, they will not avail that the following year to the new president, if we would have any. Because this one, they are doing it because somebody is paying them.
True.
This one, they are doing it because somebody has convinced them, albeit with propaganda that Ruto is a bad man. This is because somebody has set them up against Ruto. Even the social media and online algorithm that has been used to promote the anti-Ruto propaganda will not be available because the person financing it will have achieved his goal or have failed altogether. So I've had some young men and women saying, hata huyu akija akitukosea tutamunyorosha nje tu. The person who is incapable of determining who becomes his MCA is telling us he will be able to determine who becomes the president. He doesn't know that leverage he has, that ladder is riding on to reach the president, has been provided with somebody he is unable to see. Then see, protest was not organic. It was sponsored. It was promoted. It was financed by one single person.
Now, mheshimiwa, before ni kuache hii story, nataka tu umalize hii story. If Gachagua fails, nimekuuliza hiyo. If Gachagua fails to be in the ballot, and then he fronts Methu to deputize Sifuna, do you see such a thing happening? Just that one only.
If, of course, it looks logical. Looks very logical. But I can tell you, you see these old men, Kalonzo, Matiang'i, even Rigiji, they know the recklessness of youth. It is you who is mesmerized by thinking Sifuna can be made a presidential candidate with another young man, Methu. So you think we don't see the arrogance in Methu? You think we don't see the arrogance in Sifuna? They also see. The only thing that has blinded them is the hatred for President William Ruto. So I tell you for free here and now, none of those leaders would accept to have Sifuna as a presidential candidate and Methu as a running mate. You cannot put such two young people in power. You will never remove them. They are reckless and one day they will wake up. Like that Burkina Faso president who told us after 2 years they will have a democratic election. When 2 years came, he told us he's too busy to have time for such an election. These ones will wake up and tell you there will be no elections. And if you go to the streets, you will be shot on sight. And you will do nothing. Even these radio stations and social media, which President William Ruto has left to say what they want against him, they will not allow them and you'll do nothing. Okay. Uhuru here in 2017 and 13 blocked us in Kibera, Mathare, Mukuru. We could not even get out of the house to go and protest. And we did nothing. They are lucky they got the person of President William Arap Ruto. A person who has conscience. A person who literally knows it is your right to go to the streets, it is your right to speak. But to tell us that because some youth who went to the streets died, so Ruto is a bad man, he killed them. Explain to me. Kenya has 109 policemen, 109,000 policemen, with a population of 60 million. How many policemen, how many people per policeman? And you send these people to the streets. 10,000 people against 200 policemen. What do you expect? You expect the police to go and face them without guns. You expect police to go and face them with rungus and tear gas only. If, in fact, it is fellow policemen who will tell the organizers of the protest that those guns the policemen are carrying have no bullets in them. When policemen are sent to the street, there are those who go almost barehanded, those who go with rungus, those who go with guns with rubber bullets, those who go with guns with live bullets, and those who go with tear gas. That is when they can manage. If the ones with rungus are overwhelmed, the ones with tear gas cover them. If the one with tear gas are overwhelmed, the one with rubber bullets cover them. If the ones with rubber bullets are overwhelmed, the ones with live bullets must come to protect life of the policemen and life of those who are not protesting. Do not be told that protesters are not supposed to be killed. If they turn into goons, if they turn into killers, if they turn into looters, they will die on that street. Do not be gaslighted into thinking that way. Protesting is legal. It is allowed by Article 37, but it also says it must remain peaceful and unarmed. The only way is retaining that peacefulness and enforcing the unarmed. Police must come in to enforce it. But how? How is 100 policemen going to enforce such with 10,000? How?
Impossible.
Because they will be overwhelmed. And that is at that time that the only thing that will send back lawbreakers is the fire of the gun. Because when you are now overrunning the police, looting, even running over the police alone is enough. Because I have seen members of the public lynching a policeman who has not offended them. Because the police is doing his job that the government sent him to do, maintain law and order. But they lynch him like he's a common thief. You have seen it, you saw it in Homa Bay, and we have seen it here in Kenyan streets. We have seen protesters chasing an armed policeman into a truck and continue to beat her inside the truck. And you tell me that if people died on the street during such reckless protest, then the president is wrong. They are lucky the president didn't order shoot to kill during protests.
Okay.
And I remember there was a time that the president said, people who loot, who break other people's business premises, such people, shoot them in the leg, they go to hospital as they wait for the court. That was mild. That was the president trying to tell the police to climb down from shoot to kill to shoot the legs only. Michuki told them, shoot them. Even Uhuru had said so. It's only that he used hidden language. So let us not be gaslighted by people who are trying to enforce the 1969 oathing.
Okay.
There are very many good Kikuyus who don't believe in such oathing. And they are the majority. But they have been captured with this few who have convinced them that Ruto is a bad man, who has convinced them that Ruto betrayed Rigathi Gachagua. Those Kikuyus knew Rigathi Gachagua was a very bad man. But now they have forgotten. After his impeachment, they have forgotten. They have even forgotten that this man, the day Gen Zs were protesting, he was already in Mombasa waiting to take over. They have forgotten. They have forgotten that Rigathi Gachagua's own nephew is rotting in jail, and he was the vice president, deputy president. They have forgotten. So, it is unfortunate that the media has chosen the path of not correctly reporting, but reporting in favor of the opposition.
Okay.
My brother, as you walk out of here, I want you to know one thing. If you allow the House of Mumbi to mobilize resources, to gaslight you, to bribe your leaders, to remove President William Ruto, you are going to be colonized for them for a very, very long time. They are not even ashamed that they have been in power for 10 consecutive years, twice. And Rigathi Gachagua is saying, still he wants to be the president, as if they are the only people who are made to be president in this country.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Odoyo Owidi, yani mheshimiwa mwenyewe in waiting. Tunaongoja tufike hapo kwa ballot. Hajai kutuambia kama anaenda kuwa governor Homa Bay, kama anaenda senate, atujui, lakini tutakuwa tunajua. Now on the House of Mumbi and the hatred for the current president, tutakuwa tunamuita tena to discuss more as more information ina come in. Ladies and gentlemen, kama umetuwatch hadi sahi, we really appreciate you. We want to really say thank you.
And you know, Jamal,
I
want you to call me here next time.
Yes.
To come and explain to Kenyans.
Yes.
How the House of Mumbi organized deaths at police stations to blame the government.
Okay.
And people believe that you cannot kill at a police station if you're a civilian. They can kill.
Okay.
In Kenya, you can do anything. All you need is money in your pocket. And a media to promote that position.
Okay.
Thank you.
Tutakuwa tunamuita. Hiyo ni tutaweka kwa ile series ile ingine. Haya, sawa. Kwa wale ambao wametuwatch hadi sahi, nilikuwa nawaambia thank you sana. Thank you so much. Subscribe na pia share with your friends so that at least they get the information, because hapa Redring we give you true facts. Ama maybe information yenye maybe unaweza enda uanalyze uangalie kama ni ukweli. In case Mheshimiwa Odoyo has said anything na uko na any refuting ideology ama usikizani na kitu anasema, comment hapo chini. Na in case unakubaliana na yeye, comment hapo chini. Team USA wenye wanatuwatch, thank you so much. Watu wa England huwa wana comment by the way, mheshimiwa.
Waambie karibu.
So ladies and gentlemen, tumekuwa na Wycliffe Nyagol and Errol Brian, na pia OTB is in the building, amekaa tu hapo. See you guys until next time.